how I got 334 marks in NEET 2019. I am here to tell each and every step that I used to follow in the entire journey. So without getting late, let's jump into the video. So guys, you might ask me what is the proof that I got 334 marks in NEET 2019 or not. It's a completely genuine doubt. But what it is, in NEET 2019, we were given percentiles rather than giving exact marks. So here I am showing you the mark lists of few tests that I gave back in 2019 in my institute. So you can see here my name, and I got around 343 marks. In this test I got 345 marks. In this test 336. In this 330. In this 327. So you can see in all these tests I was consistently scoring good. So this is the only proof that I can show you. So coming to the process which I used to follow, I am going to explain it in 3 steps. First is NCERT reading, and then previous year questions, and then short notes. Making short notes exactly. So whenever I used to give my first reading, I used to take it very neat, very slow. I used to read each and every line like this, very clearly, very neatly. I used to understand the meaning of each and every word. Okay, that is very important for the first time reading. And no underlines, because you don't know at this point of time what is important and what type of questions are asked in the final exam. So you shouldn't underline anything, just read it plainly. Okay, you'll underline later once you get to know what are the important questions. Okay, and then the important thing is writing on a paper. This is very, very, very important. For the first time you read, what I used to do is, suppose if I start reading here like from biotechnology, as you would have learned, and up to here like food protection and health. Once I complete reading from here to here, I used to take my rough copy, and I used to write the exact same thing as it is. So due to this, I would not forget the thing so easily. It helps me to retain in my memory. It helps for long-term memory. So basically short-term memory here doesn't at all help if you have a test the next weekend and you just read it, and the short-term memory does not help you in your exam. So please be very careful about it. Your long-term memory is the only thing which is going to help you in the long run. So guys, now coming to the second part, I'm now going to tell you about previous year questions. So the very important thing is to do the previous 31 years questions. So here, this is the book I used to use. This is from MTG Publishers. I'm not here promoting or sponsoring any publishers. You can use whatever publisher you want. There are many such books like Arihant or Disha or something like that. You can use any of them. There is no problem in that. Okay. So important questions are something that you should be doing when you're really serious. I've seen many of my friends doing them when they're like not in mood or not interested kind of thing. That is not the thing to do. Important questions, these are very, very important, and you should be doing them with utmost sincerity and concentration. So I used to write few quotes so to give me motivation to do important these questions. These are very, very important. I knew that these are very important, and this book should be completed at least 2 times, in an entire 2 years. That is completely fine. You can do that. It's very easy. So whenever I use it to do, now I'm going to tell you how I use it to solve questions of a particular chapter. So now let's select one of the questions. So here I am selecting evolution. Okay, so now let's open the page to evolution. So you can see here evolution is very important chapter. Every year you get around 2 to 3 questions in NEET. So the way to do the questions is in a proper way. Okay, so it has around 140 questions. Okay, 139. So you should be able to do all these 140 questions within 2 hours. Okay, that is very important. And doing each and every question and checking the key like this, and this is a very time consuming and waste process to do, and it will not improve your temperament in the exam. So what I use it to do is, so it has 140 questions, so I use it to write the question numbers like this, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 like this. Okay, so 140 questions. I used to set timer for 2 hours, and I used to start doing like this. So the similarity between the structure of phylums and vertebrates is, so if I know the answer is homology, I used to write option A here. So it's very easy and fastest process. Just read the question, write the answer, read the question, write the answer, read the question, write the answer. Very, very easy. In 2 hours you'll be definitely able to do 140 questions. Okay, so after the completion of the questions, just check the key with this, and your questions. Evaluation is very very important. Okay, after evaluating the number of questions, you should take a percentage of how many marks you got. Like I used to take percentage. See, first time I got 82.4%. Okay, that's very good. And again, the next time I should do this, percentage should increase. Okay, then it means okay, you retain it properly in your brain, which is good thing. Okay, that should be the positive and progressive way to do in it. Okay, so here I am showing you some of the practice that I have done. You see, I used to do lots and lots of questions, and I used to evaluate them. Correct with a different color pen, it will be easier for you to check what is correct and what is wrong. It's very very important. You see how I have evaluated, how I corrected. I used to do thousands of questions, you know. It's very very important for you to do these number of questions to score good in it. Okay, so this is the correct process to do after. Yeah, okay, so now coming to the evaluation part, evaluation is very very important. Okay, after you solve the questions, you corrected them, you took the percentage, you note in the book, and then it's the time for you to evaluate how you have done those questions. Okay, here I used to write like this. See, I used to write like this. After doing this exam, I got 328 marks in bio. Okay, this is just a practice test completely to yourself. Okay, so I used to evaluate like I could have got 345 plus if I didn't do these mistakes. Here I wrote why did I lost that question, because proper reading of the question, because I didn't read the question properly. So write some reasons why you didn't do that question, or why you have lost that question. This type of evaluation is really really important. Okay, so analyze the reason for certain questions, because certain questions will be out of NCERT definitely, and you should be able to locate the reason for that. And you have to practice some analytical questions. That is, analytical question doesn't mean you need to read a lot of information out of NCERT. The thing is, 2 to 3 options will be confusing to you, and you should be able to find the proper one from that, and those are analytical questions, and should increase speed and accuracy. And you should be evaluate the test like this at least in the last month. Okay, so this will be very very useful to you. So from 328, yeah, you could definitely grow to 345 plus once you have done this kind of proper clear evaluation. Okay, so now coming to the questions which you have done wrong, it is completely fine if you do some questions wrong, but it is not fine if you don't rectify it. Okay, it's very important for you to do the questions as well as to rectify those mistakes and to learn the in and around matter of those wrong questions. So if you see few questions, I have done few questions wrong and I put a cross mark on it. Okay, and these are very very important, these cross mark questions. And whenever you do some question wrong, you should go to the explanations given beside the book and learn the matter. I mean, what I mean is, you should just at least know the reason why you didn't do the question properly. Okay, just read it, just give a simple reading, know in and around matter, and that would be fine, and that would prove really good for you. Okay, this is really important. You should know the explanation of the questions you didn't do. Okay, now we completed NCERT reading, previous year questions. Now what you should do is, now you know what are important questions and what are not. So the next time you read NCERT, this time you should do a good underlining of all the important lines that NCERT have. Okay, so after completion of questions, when you read the NCERT again, if you are reading this line like there was no atmosphere on early earth, water vapor, methane, carbon dioxide and ammonia released from the molten mass cover the surface. So when you read this line, you will immediately realize that this line is very very important and was very frequently asked in the previous year questions, that immediately you should able to underline it. Okay, and that is very very important. If you can do some mnemonics like this, like Mahi, which I have done here, you can do mnemonics and they will prove really really good and helpful for you. So after completion of NCERT reading and previous year questions, you will definitely know what to underline, what not to underline. See, I have here, and whatever the question that I lose, I write the in and around matter here beside the space given in the NCERT, and it's really really good. Okay, you should underline it really really well. You should write important points and all. It's very very important for you. Okay, so you should be doing like this very clearly. So here if you see this, the first time I read on this date, and next time I used to schedule the revisions again. So these many revisions at least you should definitely do for clear and complete reading of NCERT. That is really important. Now after completion of these 2 points, now let's come to how to make short notes. It's very important to make short notes. During the last days you will realize how important short notes is, okay, during the examination time. And it's very important for you to revise the things during the last week. You should be able to revise the entire syllabus of bio within just few hours, and at that point of time short notes does really prove helpful to you, okay. And while writing short notes, you should really keep in mind that it should not cross more than 1 or 2 pages. If you write the entire NCERT again, what's the use of writing short notes? It's just a waste of time. So now here I am showing you the short notes that I have written. See, this is the entire chapter of organisms and population from starting to ending, okay. This you should be writing like this, just 2 pages. So whenever I feel like revising organisms and populations, I open the short notes, I just quickly go through it. I doesn't take more than 5 minutes, okay. I don't take more than 5 minutes to read entire this, okay. It's very important. See, after you read it clearly, organisms and populations, you know what is important lines. You underline very important lines, okay. You underline like temperature, water, light, all these things you underline clearly. You write in and around matter, in a side, the things which can get out of NCERT, and you should be writing here, okay. Teachers cover in the class usually those things, or else in the previous year questions, the explanations, you should be writing all the important points here. After writing the important points, again you should filter them, okay, and write in a format where you can revise it pretty much easier. Write it so neat that you feel the enthusiasm to read, okay. If you write it badly, you don't feel like reading. That's very important thing. This is organisms and populations, how I wrote, see. And this is ecosystem starting to ending, just like 1.5 page. And this is biodiversity and conservation. It's very important for you to remember such factual matter, okay. Such kind of factual matter is really important. Really need a lot of revisions, okay. So please don't forget all of this, and you have to write all of them. It's very important for you to write all of this sacred grooves, and these are very important, okay. So all the important points you should be writing like this. Short notes is very important, okay. I am showing you the short notes of few other chapters which I made during my preparation. So I keep my Insta ID in the description box. You can DM me if you want these short notes in a PDF format. Please let me know, and okay, please message me on my Insta, and I'll definitely help you out by sending these short notes. I would rather say you to prepare your own short notes, but if you run out of time or anything like that, I'm definitely here to help you, okay. So these are a few kinds of short notes that I made of each and every chapter, of all important points, all these segments of. So by following these 3 points, you can really score well in NEET, okay. This requires a lot of time, a lot of sincerity, okay, to solve those many questions. So I hope you follow these steps and score good in NEET examination. Thank you. So that's the video, guys. Please let me know in the comment section if you want me to do another video on how to cover the entire biology syllabus within September 13, that is NEET 2020. I'll definitely do it. So please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and press the bell icon. Thank you. Bye guys.